everyone, namaste. Welcome to Family Fitness Yoga. My name is Jodi. I'm an instructor here, a very proud instructor. I'm happy to be with you this morning. So what do you need for today's workout? Well, it'd be nice if you had a mat, but you don't have to have one. I have two. I'm going to be standing on this mat, doing some sun salutations, and then maybe I'm going to use the other mat for some warriors, just to show alignment, things like that. You don't need two mats. If you have two, great. If you don't have a mat, just move some things around, make a nice little space on the floor, and be in a place where you can see me and hear me. And let's get started. So what I'd like to do today is start in a Shavasana pose, corpse pose. We're going to start in that pose, and we're going to finish in that pose. So go ahead and make your way down to your mat, and you're going to go ahead and lay all the way back on the mat. And I'd like you to be comfortable. So if it's more comfortable for you to have your knees bent, then go ahead and bend your knees. Maybe tent them in like this, or knees apart. Either way, if you're comfortable to have your legs reaching out, go ahead with that as well. Just want to take a moment for us to feel centered and feel grounded. So you find that comfortable spot, and then if you're comfortable to close your eyes or soften your gaze, go ahead and do that. So I'll give you just a moment. And as we're getting ourselves settled, let's just start thinking about the breath. So when we take this time and we turn our focus inward, we take a couple of breaths, and these breaths are movements that have the ability to magnetize us. And what that does is it pulls us more into our center. And then we can move in a more concentrated way, in a more mindful way. So let's go ahead and, yes, music. Take a big breath in, and then allow that breath to leave the body with a sigh. Let's inhale long and exhale deep. Take a big breath in, feel that breath go back and forth. Feel the breath fill you from side to side. And as we do this, just notice the movement that your body's making with the breath. And then we can think about that, and we can attach on to that, and then we can move through our practice with the breath and be more mindful. So if your knees are bent, go ahead and straighten the legs out. I'm going to reach the arms up overhead. So we reach the arms up over the head, and then really allow a softening on that next exhale. The shoulders soften down, the hands come down, the toes maybe even just fall to the side. And now we start a gentle movement with the breath. So when we inhale, let's reach the arms that we're lengthening them, and then reach the heels in opposite direction of the fingertips. With an exhale, we just soften, sort of think about it as being a release. With the breath in, we reach. Go overhead, heels reach in the opposite way, and then soften with the exhale. One more time, lengthening, this time thinking about the crown of the head, reaching in the same direction as the fingertips, and the heels reaching the other way. Exhale and soften. Let's take your right knee, full right knee, and bring it into the chest. Bring that knee and so look at the strong knee into the chest. Maybe it feels good. Just give it a little rock side to side. And now let's use the breath here. So we free the hand, inhale, reach the arms up, reach the right heel down. Good. Exhale, we're going to bring the left in. Hand here, flexion to the left foot, a little rock side to side. Just feel good. Let's inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Reach the leg out. Exhale, the right foot comes in, bend the right knee. A little rock side to side. Inhale, follow your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Reaching up with the breath in. Bending the knees with the breath out. It's called liberating. So it's going to go right to left. One and then the other, and we follow the breath. So your gaze maybe is still soft, or maybe even the eyes are still closed. I like to keep my eyes closed and just feel the body move. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale. Come back. And now let's inhale and lengthen. Fingertips reach one direction, heels reach the other way. If you're really flexing the fingertips, might need to lift up off of the ground. Inhale and reach, and then exhale, bring right knee to the chest. This time we're going to keep the right knee in. Get a little rock side to side while you flex the right foot. And we're going to draw the right knee out to the side and gently bring it up in the direction of your foot. And then a soft knee twist. Drag that knee over closer to the midline. Good. Nice stretch the ice band. Let's follow the breath. With the breath in, reach the arms up. Reach the leg out. With the breath out, we come to the other side. A little flex of the foot and a rock. Side to side. Feel and notice where you have space in your body. Let's take the knee out to the side and bring it gently up in the direction of your abdomen. Easy release. Cross it over the midline. Just going to bring it right here. So yours might go a little further, but maybe not as far. It's fine. Let's inhale and reach up. Exhale, we bend the right knee. Hands go below the knee. This time we're going to take a little twist. So your right is going to go over to the left. Let's keep the right shoulder down. It doesn't matter how far you go. We're still warming up. So we just want a gentle, easy, on a soft twist. Take a little adjustment here. And feel comfortable. And then we bring the right knee back up with the breath in, lengthen, just like we've been doing. With the breath out, left knee comes into the chest. Little rock side to side, and we're going to take this on over. As you take the leg over, let's not worry about how far it's going. Think about rounding the shoulders, getting a nice gentle twist here. Next down, bring, yep, inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, bring both knees in. Clear the blood, the knee, rock side to side. That head is up or down, totally up to you. Now what you're going to do is just rock towards me, forward and back, forward and back. Get a little momentum so you come up, maybe the toes tap. And then we're going to come up, cross the feet, press up, and come to hands and knees. Good. Hands and knees. So hands and knees, if being on hands and knees and having the wrists directly below your shoulders bothers your wrists, you're just going to walk your hands a little bit forward. It's going to take the weight and the stress off of your wrists. So line up everything so that you feel good. Let's start warming up the spine, dropping the belly down. You're going to do just a few cat-cows. Lifting the chin up, lift the tailbone. And now we pull the belly up, round, round, round. Tuck the tailbone in and then bring the chin to the chest. So you're going to feel a really nice opening in the cervical spine and bring your chin to your chest. Press through the hands here. Feel what that does to the shoulder blades. With the breath in, we drop the belly down, lift the chin. With the breath out, we round, round, round. Good. With an in breath, we drop the belly down. We come to cow. And then cat. Good. And now let's just come to hands and knees. Hands and knees, right arm reaches out. Right arm reaches out. And then I call it swimming because when you swim, your movements are very fluid, not jerky. So like you said, swim the arm forward. And then we're just gonna pull the elbow back. Reach the arm forward and place it down. Left hand, reach up like you're trying to reach for me. Swim back, elbow pulls back, and then reach, place it down. One more time, right reaches. We're just gonna pull back. When you do that, pull the shoulder back and then just turn the head a little bit. Nice opening the side of the neck and place it down. We reach for me. Pull back, take your head to the side. Feels good. Bring the hands down, push back to child's pose. With the breath in, let's come to hands and knees. Let's take the right foot out to the side. The toes are gonna point to the top of the mat. Doesn't matter how far you walk it forward, just wherever you're comfortable. And now we're just gonna lean into it. So just a little lean. Try not to bounce. We're leaning into it and then backing off. And this knee stays over the ankle or behind, just like this. So maybe here we make little circles, go one way, and then the other. If it feels good in one particular spot, go ahead and stay there. And then let's come back to hands and knees. Press back to child's pose. And let's go ahead and come up. Left foot comes out to the side. Toes point sort of to the top of the mat. So we're not going out to the side, either at a 45 degree or to the top of the mat. And we're just gonna kind of lean into it and hold, back off. Lean into it. Nice. Maybe make some little circles here. Good. While you're there, press into the hands, go one way, and then we go the other way. And now let's come back to hands and knees. With the breath in, we stay right here, and with the breath out, press in mindfully back to child's pose. Let's lift the head up, walk the fingers over to the right, and then just gently lean into the left hip. See if you can get your forehead down to the mat. If you can't, let's put a fist underneath. Fingertips walk back to center, and then just sweep them on over to the left. Drop into that right hip. Nice. Fingertips come forward. Let's lift the hips, curl the toes, rise up, and press back to downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, we're only going to be here for a moment. Pedal out the heels, but pedal them out really big. So I'm going to go to the side and show you what I mean. First down dog, we're going to pedal up really big, bending one knee, maybe even lifting the foot if that feels right. So just feel it. If you find a spot that you think, oh, that needs some attention, stay there. Nice. Let's inhale, look up. As you exhale, walk your feet forward. Bending the knees and lifting the belly and forward fold. Let's bend the knees a little more. Sweep the arms up. Rise all the way up. Bring your hands together and sit into chair pose. So press the hands together. Allow the thumbs to be right at heart center. So we sit deep. We're drawing the knees together. Maybe you can lift your toes up so you want the weight on the heels. Now we're just going to start moving a little bit. So we're going to take those prayer hands, turn them to the right, lift up your right heel. So get this little twist. And now let's open the arms to cactus arms. And then let's come back and set it down. Lift up the left heel. Let's turn. Open to cactus arms. And then bring the hands back and down. Let's go again. Lift the right. Let's open, and now open the arms. So reach the arms in opposite directions. Let's take that back shoulder and draw it back just a little bit more. And then the back arm, let's sweep, lift up, and then sit into chair pose. Bring the hands down. Let's turn over to your left, lifting your left heel. And now we open here, stay here. Take the back hand, sweep, lift, and sit into chair. We're just gonna go one more time each way. Bring the hands to prayer, turn to your right, lift your right heel. Feel really grounded through that left foot. My quad's starting to warm up here. Back arm, sweep, lift, sit in the chair. Thumbs go back. Hands together. Turn to your left, lift the left heel. Turn, press the hands together. Grounded through that right foot, feeling the right quad. Open. Sweep, lift, and sit. Beautiful. Nice. Bring your hands together. Let's come down and step back to plank. Step back to plank, and then we're going to lift those sit bones up high and come to downward facing dog. Pedal up the heels. So in downward facing dog, for your first downward facing dog, you might want to take your stance a little bit wider. So I like to take my feet about mat distance apart. So go ahead and try that if you like to stay there. And then we try to find some stillness here. Press the hands into the mat. Push the hips back, push the heels down. Good. Let's inhale, look up. Exhale, walk forward to fold. Bend the knees, rise all the way up. Sweep to fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's flatten the back. A nice way to do that is, if it's okay with the neck, is to lift the chin. Exhale to forward fold. Bend the knees, bring the hands down, step back to plank. Now we lift the hips, come to downward facing dog. Slide yourself right back into plank. And then on knees or toes, I'll come down to my knees for this first one. Down to knees, elbows point back, let them graze your sides. As you lower yourself down, chaturanga, tricep push-up. Inhale, up to cobra. Or if this is too much, we go baby cobra, bending the elbows. Elbows back, shoulders back, curl the toes, lift the hips up, down dog. Bend your knees, right foot's going to step forward to lunge. Right foot steps forward to lunge, and now lift your gaze. Step the left foot forward to fold, bend the knees, rise up. Circle, sweep to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, step back to plank. Once you're in plank, push through the heels, then lift the hips up and settle yourself into downward facing dog. Let's slide right back with a breath into plank. As you breathe out, chaturanga. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Nice. So again, we pedal out the heels, but what I'd like you to do is make those little adjustments and then attempt to find stillness. Bend the knees, left foot steps forward to lunge. Lift your gaze, soften the back leg and the hip. Step forward to fold. Hold here, nose to knees. Inhale, rise up. Rise. Exhale and fall. Surrender to the fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to do airplane arms here. So reach the arms up, fingertips back, soften the shoulders. Breath in, lift a little higher. Breath out, come to forward fold. Bend the knees, step back to plank. Push back to dog. Slide back to plank. And lower yourself down, chaturanga. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, right foot steps forward to this lunge. Lift your gaze here. And then step forward to fold. One more round. Bend the knees, rise up. Lift your gaze. Exhale, circle, sweep, dive the chest down, come into your fold. Inhale, halfway lift, airplane arms. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, let's step back to plank. Kumbhakasana. Exhale to dog. Breathe in, coming back into plank, and as you breathe out, lower yourself down, chaturanga. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, down dog. Bend the knees, left foot steps through this time, so we have this lunge series. And now you lift your gaze. As you do that, open the hip. Step forward to fold, bend and rise. Exhale, fold. Circle, sweep the arms down. With a breath in, halfway lift, airplane arms. With a breath out, come to forward fold. And now step back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, good. So what we're gonna do here is bend the knees, right foot steps forward between the hands. Help it if you need to. Before you rise up, think about it. Feel grounded through this right foot. The big toe, the little toe, the heel. Think about the back toes. Ground into them. Feel grounded and stable, especially through your core, and we rise up to a high lunge. We rise up to a high lunge. We're going to bend the knee and tuck the hip. Bend the knee and tuck the hip. Nice. And now we draw back. So I'm asking for a back bend, but it doesn't mean you have to bring the head back or the gaze. We can just lift the heart space like this and get a back bend as well. So we bend the knee, tuck the hip, go a little bit deeper in this lunge. Hold here, draw the belly in. And now we're going to rise up, palms face me, sweep down, step back to dog, and then come down to knees, press back to child's pose. We're going to do a striking cobra. So from here, you're going to lift your head up, lift your chest, lift the hips. We're going to scoop the chest through the hands, elbows to the side, like you're doing a push-up. Scoop through and then tuck the elbows in, lift up, push back to child's pose. It's called striking cobra. Go again. Lift with a breath in, child's pose with a breath out. Scoop through. This last one, bring your knees together, scoop through, and now we stay here for just a moment. Press through the hands, but don't sink into the shoulders. So lift, push the shoulders down. You'll feel a compression in the low back, but it should feel okay. It should not hurt. If it bothers you, back off. Breathe. When you're ready, make your way to downward facing dog. We curl the toes, the sit bones rise up high, and we press back slowly, mindfully, pedal out the heels. Bend the knees, left foot steps forward to lunge. Help it if you need to. Be mindful, and when you're ready, rise up, high lunge. Once we're here, we're up, we're feeling stable. Now bend the knee, tuck the hip. We watch the front knee, that it stays in line with the foot. Challenge yourself, you can lift your gaze. Maybe a little back bend is in your practice. Two more breaths here, bending the knee, tucking the hip. And now the palms face forward, sweep down, step back to dog. Come down to knees, push back to child's pose. Let's go through striking cobra. We're gonna do two of them. So scoop through, lift up, press back. Feel every movement and an unraveling right here of the spine. One more. This time bring your knees together, scoop through, press the hands. Little cobra. If that's too much, come to Sphinx pose. Or we press up. And again, we want to press the shoulders down. One more breath. When you're ready, curl the toes, lift those hips high. Come to downward facing dog. Kind of let the heels find stillness here. Downward facing dog. Shift your weight back so that it's more in your legs and your hips. Let's inhale and look up. Exhale, walk the feet forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. I'm going to use my sideways mat here. And I'm just going to step here. You don't have to. Your right foot, step forward to warrior one. Your right foot, step forward to warrior one. Back leg is straight. We're going to bend this front knee. And we're going to rise up here. Warrior one. Hips are squared this way. So we reach up, soften the shoulders, so stomach go back. We press into the back heel. Front heel, front toe. And now let's take the palms down and fold right next to this front leg. Now we're going to bring the hands down, fingertips go to the mat. Shift your weight forward. Lift up like a warrior three. And then we're going to bend the knee, lift the knee, fold nose to supporting knee in a modified standing split. Nice. And now rise up. Think about this back leg. Step it way back and circle up to your warrior two. So we're going to press through the outer edge of the back foot. That's going to keep this ankle from collapsing in. So push it out, straighten this back leg, soften the shoulders, reach your warrior. Let's flip the front hand and reverse your warrior. So the beautiful sun warrior. And now we rise up, come back to your warrior, but it's just a pass through. We're going to straighten the front leg and make our way to triangle. Dialing back the top hip. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's bend this front knee. Sweep all the way back. Sweep all the way back. And now sweep to your side angle. As you sweep to the side angle, straighten this back leg. Press through it and reach nice straight line, arm, body, and leg. Let's rise up again. Stay low in the legs. And sweep to your side angle. And now use your core. Rise up. Turn your toes just out to the corners of your mat. Tuck your tailbone, lower down, push the knees apart. We're in a wide U-shape. And now we bring the arms up and sit deep. So if you look up, press through the feet. You're really pushing through the feet, really pressing the knees apart, really reaching up. Rise up. Exhale, sit deep. Find stillness or rhythm, rock side to side is fine. One more breath here. And now we rise up. Step feet together. And now you're going to take your left foot and step forward. Your left stepping forward to warrior one. So the back leg is straight, pressing through the heel, and bend the front knee. Square the hips to the short end of the mat, and then lift the arms. So if it's not okay with your shoulders to lift the arms, We can always have hands in prayer. Press through the back leg. Little bend to the front knee. Soften the shoulders. Thumbs go back. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Open. Engage the hands. Palms down, fold. Gently draw the belly in, so we're bracing the core. Hands come down, fingertips to the mat. Shift your weight into this front leg. We lift the back like a warrior three. Bend the knee and then fold into this front leg. So we have a modified standing split. One more breath here. And now we step back, back. Sweep up, circle to warrior two. Soften the shoulders. Come down a little bit deeper. We want to make sure knees over the ankle. Straighten the back leg. And again, press through the outer edge of the back foot so we don't collapse that ankle. We have nice stability in the joint back here. Palm flips. Sweep back. Beautiful sun warrior. One more breath here. And now we rise up, we pass through our warrior two. Straighten the front leg, dial back this right hip. We open to triangle.
Confidence is the greatest asset you could ever have.
See if you can look up at this reaching hand. And now we're gonna bend this front knee. Sweep back to our sun warrior. Hold here for one breath. And now rise up, follow through to your side angle. Sweep up, use the core to anchor yourself. One more time. And now this time as you come up, use your core, turn your toes to the corners of your long mat. Tuck the tailbone, come down to a wide Uchi. And bring the arms up. And as you come down, think about pressing the knees apart. Sit deep. Reach up. Look up.
Confidence is the greatest asset you could ever have.
Stay here. Push through the feet, push through the feet. Rise up with a breath in, and then sit deep with a breath out. One more breath here. Push through the feet. Rise up, bring your hands together. Step feet together. Let's inhale and reach up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We're going to take the hands and place them behind your back. So clasp your hands behind your back. We're just going to stay here for just a moment, little shoulder stretch. So we're going to bring the shoulders up, back, and down. Lift through the crown of the head. So we've got this really nice lengthening feeling going on. And now we're going to take our clasped hands and just drag them over to the side, to the hip. So just follow me, one side or the other. As you drag the hands one way, the opposite shoulder softens down. So a nice little stretch over here. Now we're going to take this elbow that's sticking out and we're just going to point it back towards you. Take a big breath in, a long breath out. We open the elbow back up. We're just going to slide those clasped hands to the other hip. Softening down the other shoulder, and then take the elbow back, back, back. So like 3 weeks here, roll the shoulders back, inhale, reach up. Exhale, circle sweep to fold. With the breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, step back to plank. Press through the heels in plank, then lift the hips and really push through the heels, come to downward facing dog. Slide your body back into plank. This is what we're gonna do on knees or toes. We're gonna chaturanga halfway and push back up. Halfway and push back up. That's 2, we're just gonna do 3. Halfway and push back up. And now all the way down. Hover for a moment, scoop up, pull the body through to cobra, or maybe even up dog at this point. Curl the toes, the hips rise up, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, right foot steps through to lunge, right foot steps through. We're gonna lift the gaze. The left knee can go down or stay up, and we open to the right. Take this top hand, sweep it around to your low back, and then we're gonna turn the shoulders, square them to the mat. Step forward to fold. Release this right hand, bend the knees, rise up high. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift with a breath in. Forward fold with a breath out. Bend the knees, step back to plank. Push through the heels in plank, then lift the hips, really push through the heels, down dog. Slide back into plank with a breath in. We're gonna lower halfway and push up. Lower halfway, or maybe not halfway, maybe 25% of the way. Just a little, and up. One more time. Just a little, elbows back, pressed up, good. All the way down. Hover for a moment, then come down. Pull the heart space forward, scoop through, lift up, cobra or up dog, and then downward facing dog. Bend the knees, left steps through. Rise high. Sweep it back, square it forward, step up, forward fold. Let's move a little quicker. Rise and fall. Half lift, forward fold. Bend the knees, step back to plank, push through the heels, hips high, down dog. Slide to plank. One time, halfway down, take it up, all the way down. Pull through, cobra, Bhujangasana, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, right foot steps through. Lift your gaze, right arm floats up, right arm floats back. Step forward, fold, hands come together, soften the shoulders, bend the knees, rise high. Surrender, low to the fold. Half lift, forward fold. Bend the knees, step back to plank. Push through the heels. You can always come down to your knees if you need to. Now we lift the hips and really push through the heels, coming to down dog. With a breath in, slide yourself to plank. Kumbhakasana. Exhale, half. Lift up. Now all the way. Inhale, cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, left foot steps forward. Lift your gaze, open and broaden the chest. Lift. Sweep back. Step forward. Bend the knees, rise up. And fold. Beautiful. Halfway lift. And fold. Let's step back to your plank. Step back to your plank. I'm going to come sideways here. We're going to step up to plank, and now let's come to downward facing dog. So we're going to press through the heels, but if the heels are up, it's okay. Press through the heels, we try to soften the chest, broaden through the chest and the collarbones. So we're going to do here, try not to make any movement with the feet. We're just going to shift forward into plank. Plank to downward facing dog. So we keep everything where it is as long as it affects the wrists and keep the hands where they are. Slide into plank. Push back into downward facing dog. Let's slide into plank, and as we come to dog, we're going to lift the left hand and just tap the outside of the leg, knee, the calf, or the foot. And then come back to plank. And go to the other side. Plank, push back, reach. Plank, push back, reach. Plank, push back, reach. Plank, push back, reach. Do a few more. Come to plank. You can always come to your knees. You could always hold in plank. Plank, push back, reach. Plank, feel it through your arms, your shoulders, feel really surrounded. A good support here. We're going to go 4 more times. Plank, reach back. Plank, reach. Doesn't matter how far you reach, even if you just reach into the air, just reach. 1 more each way. Plank to dog. Plank to dog. And now bring the knees down, push back to child's pose. So while you're in child's pose here, maybe you lift up and circle the wrist. Let's see if we can soften the forehead down to the mat in child's pose. Bring the hands together in prayer, and then lift the hands up so you're resting on your elbows, and take these prayer hands to the base of your neck. Stay right there, allow the thumb to rest on that top part of your back. Feel a nice little opening of the tricep. And now let's release it. Bring the hands out. In child's pose, we can use child's pose as a rest place. We can use it as an active stretch. Right now, we're going to use it as an active stretch, if you're with me. So fingers are evenly spaced. We're going to push the hands into your mat. You're pressing your hips back towards your heels, and we allow the forehead to rest down so that the neck doesn't have to do any work at all. So let's inhale and look up. As you look up, lift the hips. We're going to curl the toes, press up to downward facing dog, and then slide ourselves into plank. Slide ourselves into plank. We've been here a lot today, but that's okay. That's good. And now push back to down dog. On your next in-breath, the right leg lifts up, 3-legged dog. Doesn't matter how high, we're going to reach from the hip. So a little hip opening here. Bend the knee and then point the knee up. We want to open the hip. Push through the left heel. Let's inhale, lift a little higher. Doesn't matter how high. Exhale, pull it in. When you pull it in, you're shifting into that plank and you're bringing the knee right to the middle of the chest. Round the back to make room for that leg. Inhale and reach. Exhale, pull it in. We just go 4 times. Inhale, reach. Pull it in. 1 more time. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, pull it in. And now look at it. Mindfully set the leg down as we set up for pigeons. So we set the leg down. Take a look at where you are because we're going to make some little adjustments. So we have the hands on the mat. Right knee is aiming for the right wrist. The right ankle is aiming for the left wrist. And now we take a look back. This back leg is straight. And now you take your pigeon where you want to go with it. I like to walk my hands back, do a little back bend. Or maybe you want to soften down. So you find your edge, and that just means that place where you don't think you can go any further. Like, this is it for me. And you'll feel it, you'll know it, but you have to go there slowly. Maybe you go to sleeping pigeon. And that means that we come down, the belly first, then the chest. So, wherever you want to be.
And I'm blue. Oh, I've got to learn to let 'em go.
This is one of those poses where we hang out for a little bit. Integrate some softening of the connective tissue.
I just got to learn to let 'em go.
So if you're all the way down, go ahead and start making your way back up. If you're up high like I am, bring your hands to the mat. We want to check it out right here. Inhale, the chest lifts a little bit, and as you exhale, really soften into this. Your legs, make them into 90-90 degree. 90 degrees, 90 degrees. And we're going to come up. We're going to take the left hand and lift up, and we're going to push the hips forward.
And he can't handle himself, no.
So you can bring the head back if it's okay with the neck. Sometimes I like to take my ear to my shoulder here. And now let's come out of it by just gently sitting down. We're going to come right back to that pigeon. So you bring your hands here like you're going to do a push-up. We square the hips back up to the mat, curl the back toe, lift the knee, push up, come back to your downward facing dog. Pedal out the heels for a moment, soften through the chest, soften your gaze. On your next in breath, we're going to lift the left foot up, reach the left leg out. Bend the knee and then point the knee up. So you have this nice little hip opener here. And again, it doesn't matter how high you lift. Push through the right heel, soften the arms, try not to lean. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, pull the knee in underneath you. You slide yourself and shift your weight into plank. With the breath in, we reach. With the breath out, we bring it in. Pull it in, round the back. Feel really powerful here as you reach and then pull. 2 more times. Reach, pull it in. Good. Reach it out. Bring it in mindfully, slowly, and then just let's lay it down. Straighten this right leg back. Softly, gently lower yourself here. So we can stay right here. Or you can go a little further, take your time. Just like when you pedal out your heels in downward facing dog, it's just making adjustments so that you can get into the pose. It's the same here. Maybe we walk the fingers back, come to a little back bend. So I do feel like a little compression in my low back, but it feels good. As long as it feels okay, go ahead. You want to come forward, we come forward. Think about the belly coming down first, then the chest. And if you want to bring your head down, but it won't go, you could stack the fists, stack the hands, or not. With every exhalation, we soften. So you think about the hips, the places where you're feeling sensation. Breathe into those places, soften into those places. So wherever you are, if you're in a little back bend or if you're all the way down, let's come back to like a neutral place with the hands flat. Hips are squared to the mat. Feel a nice little openness. Now we're just gonna drop the left butt cheek down. Turn and take a look at the legs. I have to make a little bit of adjustment here to make them 90-90. Left hand comes back, and I'm just going to lift. Lifting the hips forward. Reach your gaze to the hand. One more breath here. Inhale. And then as you exhale, lower yourself down. Take your hands, place them back. Shift yourself back like you're going back to the pigeon, but we're going to curl the toes. Lift up and press back to downward facing dog. Inhale and look up. Exhale, float or walk. Feet to hands. So we come to this forward fold, bending the knees, lifting the belly. Really take advantage of gravity here. So allow the shoulders to just soften. Bring the chin towards the chest. Bringing the chin towards the chest. Shaking the head yes and no will help you. And now, in this forward fold, we're just going to bring the hands to the low back. Clasp them here. If they don't reach, you could hold on to your shirt. Or we could just stay in a forward fold. I'm going to bring my hands back though and clasp them. With a breath in, I'm going to lift halfway. Pulling the shoulders back. So the shoulders go back, the crown of the head reaches forward. Inhale. Exhale, back to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reaching the arms, pulling the hands back, reaching the crown of the head forward towards me. Exhale. And now we inhale, stay in the forward fold. As you exhale, maybe the hands lift up. As we lift the hands, come more into the fold. Think about relaxing the head and the neck. So we're bringing the chin a little more to the chest. And you're just going to go where there's space in your body. So find that space, soften, breathe, and then go to that space. Stay here for one more breath, and then we just soften the hands back down to the lower back. Stay here for a moment as you soften the shoulders, and then let's release the hands, release the shoulders. And just like you pedal out your heels, again, in downward facing dog. Roll one shoulder and then the other, and just an overall feeling of softening, of letting go, of surrender. Let's lift the chin, bend the knees, step back to plank, and then lift the hips to downward facing dog. Your last downward facing dog. So push the heels down, press the hips back. Draw the breath up as if it were coming through your hands, that inhale. Allow the inhale to travel up your arms to the tops of your hips, and then the exhale travels down your legs. You can send it back to the earth through the bottoms of your feet. Let's walk the hands in towards the feet. Take a look at those feet, bring them together, crisscross. Come on down. Let's have a seat on the mat. We'll go to static. Oh, feels good to sit down. Let's inhale. Exhale. So we breathe and move with the breath. Bring the hands in and exhale. So let's go again. Inhale. And now exhale, reach. So as we reach here, try to really think about the left sit bone grounding down so that we're not leaning over. Rise up with a breath in. And with the breath out, we come to the other side. Let's breathe in. The thumbs go back. As you exhale, soften the shoulders. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Let's lean back and then take the bottoms of the feet together. We're going to go to a bound ankle pose. So if it's more comfortable for your feet to be way out here and your legs kind of make a diamond shape, that's okay. If you want to walk the feet in a little bit, good. Lots of variations for this pose, so you just go where is comfortable for you and your body. With a breath in, we're gonna lift the chest, and with a breath out, maybe the elbows reach the knees, and you can use that to press the knees down and go a little further into your pose. So while some people are here like pigeon, we hang out here for a little bit, we breathe. Maybe start turning the feet. Give the feet a little massage. Start turning them so the bottoms of the feet are being pressed up as long as that feels good. Hands on the feet, we can use that leverage to pull ourselves down, go a little further. Or maybe, we could sneak the arms underneath at this point. So when you come to bound angle, you think of it as a hip opener. But when you're using the hands and using the arms, notice that feeling that you have, the sensation in your shoulders, the opening in the back, the opening in the cervical spine. Okay, let's take another breath here. And then wherever you are, make your way back up. We're going to take the legs out long. Do one more twist. So we're going to bend the right knee. We're going to bend the right knee, and then let's take the left arm and wrap it around. So as we twist, with the breath in, lengthen. So sit up a little straighter or a little taller. And then with the breath out is when you turn. So that exhale is going to give you space to go into the turn. And as you do that, soften the back shoulder. You're going to turn your chin, and then if you can, turn your gaze. So try to look behind you. As you release this, bring the shoulders back to a neutral place. Take the feet side by side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come to a forward fold. Let's breathe in as you rise up. Let's bend the left knee. Now we're going to take the right arm and we're going to wrap it around so we hug it in. Once you get here, breathe in, lift. Breathe out, turn. As you do that, soften the back shoulder, turn the chin, and then turn your gaze. So actually look behind you, like you're trying to reach your gaze back. All those muscles working. And now let's come back. So we bring the shoulders back to neutral. Take the feet side by side. Inhale and lift up. And as you exhale, come to your forward fold. Have the palms face each other and hold on to the sides of your legs or your ankles, or if you can, reach around fingertips to the bottoms of the feet. And then we bend the elbow, work ourselves into this fold. Think about aiming your nose towards your knees. Take a breath in. The chest is going to rise up a little bit, and then as you breathe out, one last fold here. And let's go ahead, slowly, softly rise up and then soften the shoulders down. We're just going to scoot down and we're going to set up for our moment of meditation or Shavasana. So go ahead and make your way there. And all that I want you to do is to really be comfortable. Find a place that you're comfortable. So we started our practice today on our backs. You might remember that. And so you might want to go right back to that place. So maybe on your back, maybe on your side. If you're near a wall, legs up the wall is a really great place for Shavasana. And now what we do is, the whole idea behind Shavasana is to turn the switch to off. So what we want to do is go from a place of moving and doing to just a place of being. So you're just there. It's just you and your breath. So now that you've found a comfortable place, turn your focus inward towards the breath. Feel your body move with the breath. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel your belly rise and fall. Notice how your body does that all on its own. That we don't have to command it to do anything. And in our Shavasana, we allow our breath to be whatever it is. So big breaths, yawn breaths, tiny little shallow breaths. Imagine that you're just an outside observer. As you exhale, soften the shoulders. And as you breathe again, notice your heart space. Imagine a softening of it. Let the hips be soft. Relax your glutes. And then let a beautiful, beautiful wave of relaxation travel down your legs, all the way to the tips of your toes. We take another couple of breaths, and when you do that, take a moment to thank yourself for your practice. Thank yourself for your abilities, for mobility, for flexibility, for the time that you've taken for yourself, for the space that you have to do this. Before we make any movements of awakening, just scan your body and notice the beautiful calmness, the stillness that you so easily created by just using your breath. I'm hoping that feeling makes you happy. When you're ready, start making little movements of awakening. Maybe a wiggling of the fingers, of the toes. Maybe a gentle turn of the head, side to side. Whatever that is for you, go ahead and do that. And then when you're ready, make your way to one side or the other. And meet me in an easy seated pose so that we can share a breath. So whether you're here or not, you can share a breath with me in a moment. Let's inhale and reach up. Let's exhale, bring our hands to heart center. One more time. We're going to inhale and reach up. We're going to gather all the wonderful energy that together we created today. Place it between your hands and then draw it right down into your heart center. I am always honored to share my practice with you and for you to share your practice with me. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.